living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hey, I'm FTFE and welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what Disney Plus is about to do to Netflix. We're doing a live episode of Flerfs are Idiots tonight because there's been so much stupid going on in the Flat Earth world. With me, as always, I have the gangster himself, Team Skeptic. How you doing? Is he there? Nope, Team's run away. So let's move on. We've got the voice. Sean, how you doing? Making me wonder then.
Yeah. Hi. And today I'm known as the other guy.
The other guy. And he's the other guy because we actually have the all-encompassing they and them. Welcome to the channel, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, folks. How are you all?
We're wonderful because there's been so much flat earth stupidity going around. And we're going to start off with something that I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about. And that's Anthony Reilly's Thesis. It's been doing the rounds because someone got hold of it. Although he is selling copies for 20 quid. That would be a massive waste of money. But his thesis seems to be about trying to get flat earth into the national curriculum. And They and Them actually has some clarification on what it's all about. So They and Them, would you just like to tell the people how stupid Reilly's being?
Okay, so Reilly is basing his thesis on some paragraphs from the guidelines as set out by the National Curriculum Act of 1988. And he is basing this on certain understanding of that guideline. The references he makes are to do with the fact that anybody in a position of authority who is doing this teaching should avoid any partisan political ideologies and pushing that towards children. Now, in this term, he does not mean partisan politics. And this was clarified in the case that he cited by the judge. The subject does not have to be politically based, but just have a point of view that an opposing opinion is not presented as part of the education system.
Right. So basically, his whole argument is the information isn't widely available, so people can't discuss it.
Yes. And to further back up his claims, the case law that he is citing was rejected by the judge, not because it was not political, but because the students had the opportunity to debate the incorrect facts that were made in the Al Gore movie.
God. And he decided to base a master's thesis on this?
Yes. His argument was that because the alternative views on what shape of the Earth might be, even though there's only evidence to support a globe, is that because the school students do not hear these opposing views, they cannot debate it, and therefore it is in breach of the Act of 1988.
Oh God, that literally hurts. The stupidity is beyond measure because he's basically saying that it's illegal to not teach flat earth in school, right?
Technically, from his viewpoint, he is saying that it is a breach of duty of care to students not to teach every opposing view.
Oh, wow. I mean, there's so many opposing views.
You want schools to be a debate forum.
Yeah. Like, opposing views don't have to be technically correct, just, an opposing view. So he's just asking for things to be taught, even though there is no evidence to back them up. Like, that, the stupidity of that for me is that it would literally take away from their actual education, you know, learning actual maths and, you know, doing your work in history and geography and everything, they would have to take away from that to teach people the views of flat Earth.
It's not only flat Earth. Take it to the extreme, where there's an unfortunate section of society that deny things like the Holocaust or a Challenger disaster or any of those horrific events that we have experienced. You would also have to give the opposing view for those events.
Yeah, I mean, like anything that's an opposing view, right? So, like, you have to go down the route of horrible things like school shootings and whether they were real and everything, if you were to follow his logic there. It kind of, it's any reason at all that he wants to actually push the flat Earth narrative, and to base an entire master's thesis on that is, like I said, I would pay to watch it being actually marked. Has he actually submitted this?
All the information so far available is that he has submitted it on the 16th of September. And on a stream earlier on today, he confirmed that he had submitted a paper for review.
I mean, because honestly, when I first read through this, and from warnings of people that have been passing it around, I honestly thought, has he pulled some kind of joke and released a fake master's thesis to try and fool everyone? Because
I'm actually hoping so.
Yeah,
because like, this is bad.
You can read the first few pages of it, and it is talking about, you know, the partisan law and everything, as they and them were saying. But then, as you go down, you get past like page 5 and 6, and it all of a sudden just turns into like Eric Dubé's 200 proofs about the Earth being flat, and he starts to go on about things that he's done. I think page 25, he actually references himself. Yeah, here we go. So he's citing his own video, according to this observer from Hollyoake World, UK, at a distance of 29.25 miles. So he's citing his own video that he did about being able to see something that you shouldn't be able to. I mean, ignoring the fact that Dazza, the cameraman, has conclusively proved that he wasn't even at Hollyoake. He's just getting flat Earth points that have been debunked 1,000 times over. He starts to go on about the fact that, you know, things can two vortexes can exist next to each other. Therefore, you know, hurricanes can behave differently, and it proves that the Earth's flat. Starts to go on about the pendulum effect and everything, and it actually just reads as though it's every flat Earth stupid point that you've ever read, and he submitted this as a master's thesis. I don't understand.
Hey, Craig, you don't think anybody would have a problem with me posting that in the live chat for everybody to see, would they?
It's everywhere as it is now. You know, it's been put out all over the place. So I think that.
Okay.
I mean, he must have given it to somebody for it to have gotten out, or somebody's paid the 20 quid that he's charging for it, and then. But yeah, so everyone should have a read of this master's thesis, because not only is there the stupidity of him trying to say that it should be in schools so the information is available so that it can be debated, but they then made a point earlier before he went live that it looks like he got halfway through and then just lost the will to live and started posting a bunch of flat Earth proofs. Proofs being a loose word there. What's your thoughts, Sean?
Well, I actually explained this in Gio's hangout earlier that, yeah, he's got very few references to the one case that he cites twice. And the rest of the paper is literally just the same script that he goes over when he flat smacks on the street.
Yeah.
It's literally just a flat smacking. And, you know, when he announced that he was doing the second draft of this, that he was not going to mention flat Earth at all, but yet here's Eric Dubé's 200 proofs. And FE Core in the paper.
oh my god, citing FE Core, a confirmed fraudulent organization. is BM Verbal said it right, proofs in quotation marks.
So DKG Custom in the chat was telling me to scroll up to see what he had posted, and he said, breaking news, Jason of Global Eye Tour does an update in his work clothes. He maintains the scales in large retail stores, you know, the devices that use the fundamental force of gravity, which he denies.
It's that you need the
Come on,
equation.
DKG, you know it's just fucking density. It's just density.
Jose, I think the team's already posted a link to it. But feel free if you want to post
I'll
a
post
link.
another link.
Yeah. And I see Flat Earth Data in the chat. Flat Earth Data, if you want to come in and have a talk to us about this, then give me your email and I'll send you a link to join. Team, what's your thoughts on this thesis?
Just to correct him, Craig, we determined that it's going to be called a Flesis, not a thesis.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I haven't had a chance to read the whole thing. I started to read it, and it was really boring. Like really, really boring. It's 33 pages of boring.
33.
I'll get around to it, but I haven't really. Yeah. Oh
To be
wow,
fair,
33. Yeah.
all thesis
Somebody
papers
forgot to
are
tell
not
him.
meant to be entertaining.
No.
Well, okay. No. I agree. But I would expect a flat earther's thesis paper to be somewhat entertaining.
Well, it is entertaining.
Hearing you say
why.
he's referencing himself, I don't think it's a problem to reference yourself if you're like published. Like I think Einstein could reference himself, but the simple fact that he's referencing himself in a non-published. Go ahead.
Well, no. The issue is, you can reference yourself all you want, but you have to make it clear that you are referencing yourself. The way he has it worded, it sounds like somebody else did this and not him.
Yeah, like he says, according to this observer from Holly Lake, when it's quite clear that he is that observer. If the person marking this did the most basic of research, they would have found out that he is referencing his own thing.
See, we know that it was him that was there.
Yeah.
But his professors won't have a clue.
So
I'm sure
I just
somebody's
saw
reached out to his professor by now.
I just saw something from Colon in the chat that says that Reilly said in Nathan's Hangout that he sent it to the people who paid for him to do it, but added a few spelling errors to be able to find out who passes it around. I think that might just be covering his back for the several hundred spelling errors that GeoStriber found.
72 spelling errors, several hundred grammatical errors. Yeah, make sure that you're not misreading. It's 72 spelling errors and several hundred grammatical errors.
Yeah. So I wow. I honestly don't know what to think about someone submitting a flat Earth work as a thesis. Like, there's no way he's going to pass his masters with this.
No.
Well, it was a master's in law, right?
Yeah.
Not science.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't judge it on the science. It's a law thesis.
Is it a good law thesis, though?
No.
No, because he's forgetting but he's forgetting the fundamentals of how the education system is set in the UK.
Yeah.
So while in theory his argument holds up, his understanding of how the syllabus is set is not there, and therefore that's where his arguments completely fall apart.
I mean, we could go through the entire thesis and point out every stupid thing that's said in it, but basically just go and watch any of mine or Team's or Sean's videos and you will see all the bits that are debunked.
Actually, I'm going to suggest watching GeoStriber because there was a 2.5 hour hangout dealing just with this paper.
Yeah, do you want to stick the link to that in the chat, Sean?
No.
Or somebody. GeoStriber did.
GeoStriber's link. I'll put GeoStriber's link in the chat.
I would have watched that earlier, but it was bedtime for the kiddies and stuff. So, how out of us is this going to give him any heads up for the dumb fuck of the year? Because it's going to be hard to beat Kyle at this point, but it seems like he's trying hard, right?
Well, this is all stuff that he
man,
said before in this whole debate issue, if you want to call it a debate. But the fact that he tried to submit it as a law thesis definitely puts him up a couple marks on the dumb fuck of the year.
5 Australian
I would
dollars.
actually-
Matthew Math is there. I'm from Holly Lake. What was his name? I will have him hunted down. It's Anthony Reilly.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I am dead set. I am dead set on having fucking JM Truth be dumb fuck of the year. I don't care how much of an uphill battle I have to go against Kyle, right?
Yeah.
Because I really, really hate the fact that Kyle's gonna win that, and he's gonna win it. Okay, I hate that he's gonna win it because of the fuck up that he made. When there's so much stupid that's unintentional stupid, like JM Truth and his consistent spelling errors, and the messages he's sending you, and Anthony Reilly and the egg and the salt. I mean, these guys deserve dumb fuck of the year. Kyle does not deserve it, but he is going to win it. And that to me is a travesty.
So who saw the email that he sent me?
Who sent you?
JM
Craig.
Truth. JM
Oh,
Truth
yeah.
sent me this email. Hey, Craig, with 2 G's and no A or I. I have made a special spot for you in the film documentary with a random capital D. So either he's doing a different film, which is called documentary, or he obviously means the plain truth. Team, are you upset that he doesn't want you in it?
I'm afraid. Yeah, I wish he would add me, man. That would just make life. That would just make life so wonderful if he had put me in his documentary. I don't care if it was like, here are my haters that have influenced me to do such a great job, because I know how shitty it's going to be. So then they're going to be like, yeah, we're going to go find out what this Team Skeptic guy's all about. So
I'm going to make a prediction
Craig,
that your
Craig
involvement
like
in-
Greg with a C, not G.
I'm going to make a prediction on my prediction on your involvement in the documentary is going to be your interview with George Meester.
Yeah, I think so as well. Because when I did that interview with George Musser, he clarified, like Team was saying this to me earlier, right? 95% of people will listen to what George Musser said and go, well, he just said gravity isn't real. But the 5% that actually know what he's talking about understand what he was getting at. But JM Truth is very clearly not in that 5%. I mean, I just don't know what else to say. JM Truth is dumb as fuck.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
He deserves dumb fuck of the year, but he's not gonna. He deserves it for the consistent shit that he's putting out that's stupid. But Kyle's going to win it because Kyle did the most dumbest of all fucks you could possibly fucking do.
Yeah.
And,
You see, normally my
and
argument
he
for
did
Anthony
it for.
normally my argument for Anthony is that you should vote on dumb fuck of the year based on quantity of stupid, not quality, because Anthony's constantly saying something that's absolutely stupid.
Oh yeah. The fact
But
that Reilly
It's usually
Yeah,
the person who does
I agree.
big, really absolute massive, display of moronicy. That's usually the one that wins it. And
That's
this
why.
year, Kyle.
That's why fucking. That's why that. What'd you say? This year it's who? It's Kyle.
This year it's gonna be Kyle because of just the sheer quality of the stupid on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why Southern Israelite won it last year over Anthony. Anthony still should have won Dumb Fuck of the Year, but Southern Israelite's dumb fuckery was just so goddamn great that you could have piled on 2 years of dipshittery from Anthony Reilly, and it still wouldn't have beat out Kyle this year or Southern Israelite last year.
Yeah.
Like this year, you could literally take all the votes for everybody else and then tally those up against the votes for Kyle, and it's still not going to be close. Kyle's still going to win.
Yeah. I mean, the stupidest thing at the moment
but
is
I'm
that...
fucking pushing for Dumb Fuck of the Year for JM Truth still. Moving
Yeah.
forward, I'm still Dumb Fuck of the Year's JM Truth.
The stupid thing at the moment is that Kyle has basically said that he's shutting down the Non Sequitur show, but he's still not giving it back to Steve. It's just like a child throwing his dummy out of the pram at this point, right?
Yeah.
Who for
Yeah.
For Kyle, or
Yeah, Kyle. He's like
yeah.
he's throwing a tantrum at this point. Oh well, it's not working, so I'm done. But I'm still keeping it. He's like taking
No,
his ball and going.
that's
fucking
that
sells.
What's that then?
that yeah, let's give him a chance in his cookery show. So
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. You can be cooking up bullshit.
Oh man. So, who do you think will win Dumbfuck of the Year, they and them?
Hey, honestly, I would give Reilly credit for having enough smarts not to put in a science thesis, but go for law, even though it's complete bullshit. But it's hard to see Kyle losing.
Yeah. Which is kind of a shame, because I think we all want to see a flat Earth idiot win. But Kyle's done something so spectacularly stupid that it's going to be really hard to out-stupid it, even if you are a flat earther, when flat Earth is the most stupid thing on the planet. Right, what other stupidity has been going on in the universe of flat Earth? We have one thing that is kind of harsh, but at the same time, I can't help but laugh. You guys have heard about Flat Earth British's channel, right?
No.
So, Martin...
Oh,
Lundijk,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Martin Lundijk had a email. I'm going to get up Mr. Sensible's channel because he's got a copy of the same email. I deleted mine. That looked like it was from YouTube, right? I mean, the most cursory glance of this would have shown that it's clearly not from YouTube. So, here we go. Let's put this up. Right, so this is the same email.
Yeah, but Craig,
Sorry, go on.
didn't you tell us your password was password before we came on air?
Shh! Fuck's sake, man.
Password 1.
Yeah, with a capital P. I mean, but anyway. So, this is... I've had this email. I know a couple other creators that have had this email. Obviously, Mr. Sensible had this email, and this is the same email that Martin Lundijk of Flat Earth British had. And the first thing to look at is what Mr. Sensible has circled there, and the actual email. yt-sup@mail.ru. Quite clearly not from YouTube. So, Mr. Sensible, we have received a complaint that there are many spam videos on your YouTube channel, but you don't have to worry. We'll review your channel by our YouTube team and we'll let you know by email. In the meantime, we recommend you not to upload new videos. Fill in the following information and reply to this email. Otherwise, if your channel is not reviewed by our YouTube team, your channel will be closed. Thank you for your patience in this process. Channel URL, copyright, yes, no, I don't know what that even means. Channel email and channel password. Now, YouTube would already know these things, so they would not ask. So I don't think anyone could mistake this for not being, for being a real thing. But then he did, well, let me get his channel up and I can show you guys.
Just while you're doing that, Craig, I am going to say my good nights because I have an early start tomorrow. So thanks for having me on for that.
And giving us some clarification on the Reilly situation. I do appreciate it, and you have a good night, mate.
All right, all the best, folks.
Speak to you later.
But how can I be the other guy if they and them aren't here?
Well, you're just that guy now, I guess.
Yeah, John, you'll always come second to me anyway, so you should be used to it.
Do what? You got
Them. Take it easy, bro.
All right, night, folks.
So, here we go. Night then. Thank you for coming on. All right, so this is the community section of Flat Earth British's YouTube channel. He put out a community post after getting that email. Oi, oi, important message from Martin. Someone put a complaint into YouTube accusing me of spamming my own channel. As a result, YouTube want me to fill out a questionnaire on the matter that they're not willing to send or my channel will be closed. So he's quite clearly filled in this email, sent out the details, and now his channel is just full of Japanese videos. Team and I were looking at this last night, and how often were they uploading? Like literally once every 20 seconds.
Oh my god, okay. Yes, okay, so we actually went through and counted how many videos were posted in a 60-minute period of time, and there were 74 videos were posted within 60 minutes, and all of them are at least 10 minutes long. Mm-hmm. Some of them are hours long, and it's constantly being posted. Another one. Go to it. Look at right here.
Yeah, even since I just
take
uploaded
note right
that.
here, guys.
All right, I'll refresh it. And
Look,
probably
take
be a new
note.
one.
Take note of the last video. Okay, no, it's still the same one.
It won't take long until there's a new one uploaded, I guarantee you. But
yeah.
that looks to be like SmackDown for some reason, but most of them are things like this. Just some random Japanese game show. And it's sad because, you know, the guy had a relatively big YouTube channel. He had 26,000 subscribers. He's lost over like 6,000 subscribers. And now his channel is this. But how stupid do you have to be to actually just give away your details like that? Oh, look, there's a new one. All right,
Stupid
25 seconds.
Stupid. Look, new videos.
Yeah,
new video right there.
Like, I honestly think there's about 10,000 videos on this channel now. And Social Blade thinks that it's making money just because of the amount that he has. You look at his Social Blade stats. It says he's had 119,000 views today. So YouTube, Social Blade thinks that he's going to be making money just because of the amount that's on it. Is there any way you can get the channel back?
Depends on how much YouTube wants to get off their butt, but the reason why this person that stole his account is doing that to raise that Social Blade number is so he can sell the account to somebody else who thinks that the channel got that much of value. You know, if they're saying, yeah, look at this channel, you know, we stole it, yeah, no big deal, but here you can buy it, but if you buy it, look at here, you know, it's making $100,000 a year, so let's sell it to you for $25,000. That's what's going on.
Right. My God. So guys, anyone here that is, obviously you've got YouTube accounts, you're watching, any of the creators, if you receive an email and it is asking you for your password, for your, your channel email, just delete it straight away. It is funny because it shows how gullible and stupid flat earthers are, but at the same time, it kind of sucks that people are trying to do that to people. But again, it just shows how stupid flat earthers are, right?
Well, here's the thing that people don't realize. There's actually a sensible person that fell for this scam as well. No company will ever, under any circumstances, ask you for your password for a service on that company's site because they already have access to it. They don't need to.
No. Like, I think that's just a standard thing that everyone knows, right? You don't give out your details in an email, no matter what it is. Even if it looks 100% legit.
Okay, but still, this just goes to show you the gullibility of flat earthers. They'll believe anything, right? They'll believe just an email comes in. They don't even fact check the email. They just believe that because the email came in, because it had the words YouTube in it, trigger words that cause them to believe something. Same thing goes with the way they are in when it comes to science. And they're just gullible. They'll believe anything. Oh my God, the horizon rises to eye level. Oh, there's a dome. That explains so much. Look up. It looks like a fucking circle. There must be a dome up there. Half circle of a dome. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. They're gullible. They're the first people to fall for this shit.
And the funniest thing...
Okay, I don't think it's funny. You and I had this conversation. Excuse me, that was my YouTube notification that somebody was going live or put out a video. Okay, so the thing is that I don't think it's funny. Like, I think it's unfortunate because I don't want people to lose their channel like this. Even if they're flat earthers, I don't want them... hate, I can understand, but just having a difference of opinion, I'm not all about taking that channel away or having him lose it.
No.
But there is something lost. There is some fucking comedy lost on this shit, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fact that go back and see how many newer videos have been posted since we started talking.
Yeah. So since we've been talking, where's it gone? Right. Let's go back.
Because I remember the thumbnail. So.
Oh yeah. So there's another one. It looks like they're posting a bunch of.
Refresh it.
So just another one since we've been talking.
Look at that. Another one.
So I think that
The
for some
other
reason
thumbnail's already. Oh.
there you go. So yeah, they're posting like Raw and SmackDown stuff now, not just some Japanese stuff. But here, right? Okay, you're right. It's not funny in the sense of it. It sucks that someone's lost their YouTube channel. It's funny that it shows how gullible flat earthers are. But the funny thing is that he went on to Ranty Flat Earth's round table and made a big deal about, oh, it's the Russians. They hacked me because I got too close to the truth.
Nobody hacked him. He was just stupid.
Oh man, yes, they hacked you. They hacked your intelligence. They reduced it to 0.
Ugly German Truths. Honestly, I didn't have enough time to scroll through all of the videos to see if Martin's stuff is still there. I'm not kidding. There must be 10 to 15,000 videos on that channel now. Like, because there is a new video every 30 seconds.
We went on there and checked, and there was literally 74 videos in the past 60 minutes.
Yeah. So, and it's
what
constant.
And this has been going on for days now. Yeah, it's been going on for days. So there's now thousands of videos up there. So who knows if his original content's even up there.
Hey, Unirock, check Discord. I'll send you a link to come in if you like.
I sent him a link already.
All right, cool. Oh, the team's already sent you a link, dude.
If he comes in, it'll come in through my call, but
yeah, that's cool.
You can send him a link too.
Sort by oldest. You're right. I haven't done that. Let me have a look. So sort by date added oldest.
And that's me angry typing, guys.
So
my bad. My mic's by my keyboard.
His old videos are still there when you search by oldest. You're right. I didn't think about doing that. So yeah, his stuff is there. But it's so far down the list, that the only way you can find it is by doing that. At least he didn't lose
his stuff. At least he didn't lose his stuff. I'm hoping he gets his channel back, and at least he didn't lose his stuff. We need that guy to keep putting out stuff because that guy's an idiot.
Yeah, I haven't covered him.
He's comedy gold, guys. He's fucking he's hilarious. He's an idiot.
Aren't all Flerfs idiots? I mean, it's got to put him in the running for dumb fuck of the year doing something that stupid. I mean, he's not going to beat Kyle, but we need other people in there, right?
Well, other than the multitude of flat Earth crap he's got on his channel, he's still an idiot for sharing his password. So that's one big idiot thing surrounded by a shit ton of little idiot things.
It's just the fact that he thinks that the Russians hacked him because he got too close to the truth. I mean, in his mind, it's probably legitimizing everything. Or do you think by now he's realized that he's done a stupid thing?
Even if he has,
sure
he's never been able to admit it.
Yeah. No. Okay. So if I believe a lot of flat earthers that are like a flat earth activist, and he'd be considered a flat earth activist. I think a lot of those guys are narcissistic. So they have a really, really, really hard time admitting they're wrong and placing blame on themselves. Just like you said, he's already talking about, oh, it's the Russians because I'm getting too close to the truth. No, man. No. No. Nobody believes you. Nobody fucking believes you. Even if you were getting close to the truth, you're like so crazy that they would just let you continue to spew the truth because you make the truth look bad.
On an unrelated note, I just found out that I'm related to Nigerian royalty and they want to transfer me millions of pounds.
Oh shit! That's a real thing. You just send them a. I think I'm still waiting on my royalties from that. They said it should be within the next 2 or 3 decades.
Yeah, I've just got to give them £5,000 for a transfer fee, and then I'll get like millions in my account. So yeah, guys, I'll soon. I won't be on YouTube anymore because I'm going to get millions from Nigerian royalty because apparently I'm related to them. It's awesome. My God,
somehow, some way, yeah.
Fucking stupid.
Well, it's just funny when you see a con artist get scammed.
I don't think Martin is a con artist. I think Martin is one of the flat earthers who genuinely believes what he's saying. Do you think I'm wrong?
I mean, there was that guy. There was that guy recently that got removed from either YouTube or Fiverr. The one that used to do the joke where he would be like, And you too can support so-and-so by sending me your credit card with the last 3 digits. Be sure to include the last 3 digits on the back. I mean, it's a fucking joke, right?
Yeah.
But how many credit card numbers do you think he actually received? I
Probably
bet he
a lot.
received some.
Yeah.
I bet he received some. So, you know, I don't know, man. Bad move. If someone ever sends you something saying that you need to give them your information, first thing you need to do is double check the source of the information request.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, they're not legitimate. They have your information. They don't need it. They have it. They're contacting you. They have your information.
Yeah. Like, your bank will never...
Yeah, be sure to give us your YouTube URL.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like, your bank will never call you and go, can you tell me your account number? You know, because your bank knows your account number. You know...
What I like is those calls that you get randomly that say, you know, your car insurance or your car's warranty is about to expire. Now, at the time I was getting all these calls, I didn't have a car at all, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. But, you know, the first thing they ask you is, well, what's your name? Wait, my car's warranty is about to expire, so you obviously have my name. Why are you asking for my name? You should get a hang up at that point.
Yeah. Although I've had a bit
I
of
usually
addiction
just ask
lately.
them which car.
Yeah.
Was
My
that?
addiction lately has been watching the scam baiting channels because I think it's absolutely hilarious. Kit Boga, I think, is my favorite one. If you guys haven't seen Kit Boga or Scammer Revolts,
I like him, yeah.
Yeah, they just spend a lot of time, you know, they see these pop-ups. It's like, you know, oh, your computer's got 15 viruses. Call here to get it sorted. And, you know, everyone knows it's a scam, apart from the few that obviously fall for it. But so they phone it and play along for ages, and they're some of the funniest videos on YouTube. Yes, Pikachu T5, I did fix my globe. I spent quite a long time in Premiere trying to do that because it was like less than a frame that was wrong.
He figured out he can actually zoom in on the timeline.
Yeah,
so.
Sean told me that if I didn't do it, he's going to unsubscribe from me. And then he asked for my credit card details, and I gave them to him.
But he
Well,
the last
so
three
and
digits-
Lucian Andrews, oops, hold on, let me take care of this. Says, stealing YouTube channels is stupid. Why? Those people subscribe for certain content, and if the content changes drastically, those people will unsubscribe, will they not?
Yeah.
And yes, he did. He actually lost quite a bit of subscribers
Yeah, he's
over
lost
this, and
nearly
that's unfortunate.
7,000.
That's why I say, like, I'm against that. I'm 100% against that. You know, if there was anything I could do to help him get his channel back, I would. Even though he's a flat earther, I would still do it just out of principle, because I don't think that's the proper way to. I don't think you should do that to anybody. A hate channel I could understand or
There's
whatnot,
another
but
5 been added since
definitely
we've been
not.
talking. No, number 6.
Definitely, I wouldn't suggest or I wouldn't, you know, support that happen. You know, I wouldn't want that to happen to anybody. A flat earther.
I mean, agreed. I mean,
earther,
it really sucks if somebody lost their channel, but I would actually have a lot more sympathy for the guy if he didn't try to sit there and pull the Russians are censoring the truth, they stole my channel, when it's just simply put,
now
he
that
fell for
part's
a
funny.
scam.
Yeah, but Ranty was going along with it, though.
Yeah.
Ranty did another stream, like, saying, oh, can we tweet this out so that people are aware that he's been hacked? And it's like, I know critical thinking isn't a flat earther's forte, but at some point, even the other people in his community should be saying, no, Martin, you've been scammed, dude. You've been an idiot here.
Right.
I mean, if it wasn't for that fact that he tried to pass it off as to some kind of conspiracy thing because of his stupidity, I'd feel sorry. I'd feel really, really, really sorry for the guy.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, it sucks he lost his channel, but to pass it off just lost any chance of getting sympathy from me. You fell for something stupid, you proved your stupidity, and now you're trying to cover that stupidity up with more stupidity. No. Fucking get a brain and not fall for scams.
Yeah, and Damon McReady says, Team Skeptic, exactly, hate the point of view, not the person. And that's one of the things that I've always tried to ensure that in each of my videos, I'd never want it to be personal. Yes, I call people idiots. Yes, I ring the dinger. Yes, I make fun of who they are and what they're saying. But I never try to make it personal. I never want one of those people to see one of my videos and go, man, that guy hates me. You know, I'm sure M. Benz thinks that, but he should know. I mean, he seems like a...
I don't think M. Benz is a flat earther anymore.
Education of...
What?
flat earther or just not talking about flat Earth?
But he just did that D Marble video.
No, that was from about 6 months ago. That video. It just happened to have M-Benz in it, but M-Benz obviously. If you guys don't know, M-Benz, he's deleted all the content off his channel, or he's hidden it, and he has a new channel called MBDC, where he reviews Arrowverse stuff, DC TV stuff. And you know what? I've actually watched a lot of those videos because he's actually really good at it. He goes out into the street and like interviews people about their favorite superheroes and stuff. And I had a conversation with him in the comments. He was first a little hostile. Oh, you follow me around, but then I was like, no, I'm happy that you're out of that and that you're doing something else. And he's like, yeah, I couldn't deal with it anymore. I just had to get away from it. Now I don't know if that means that he isn't a flat earther anymore, but he certainly doesn't want to be part of the flat earth community anymore. And I'm genuinely happy for him that he's managed to get a semi-successful channel doing something that he really enjoys. Because I don't think any flat earther can enjoy having a flat earth channel. Because I don't think there's any flat earth channels that have like a positive like to dislike ratio.
Okay, so I do think that they... I think that ever since YouTube started...
Sorry, go on, team.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Sean.
Well, it's like I said, it's based on which flat earther you're talking about, because there's the real flat earthers that actually believe this stuff, which is few and far between, granted. Then you have the people who try to make money because of on flat earth just by passing off the flat earth stuff. And I lost my train of thought, sorry.
So what were you going to say, team?
Well, I was going to... Jacob Swinka in the chat says that Nathan Thompson got banned from Facebook and YouTube now.
Nathan Thompson banned from YouTube?
Good. He promotes hate, man. He gets up and like he puts himself on like playgrounds at schools and
oh my god, his channel's
around
gone.
Schools to try to spread the message. Like, wow, that's crazy. I'm okay with. It's that fine line, man. I'm okay with having his hate removed, but I'm not okay with having him removed.
Right. No. So
so that's the whole fine line right there, because he's constantly promoting hate.
His channel is there, but has anybody seen his most recent video? Because his video is this, right? The title of the video is "Dumb Flat Earther Can't Get Fat on Satanic NWO Vegan Diet," and his video is him eating a sundae with no shirt on, just going, "I can't get fat. I can't get fat." Who wants to see this? And I'm sorry, but he doesn't look healthy. He looks malnourished. Like,
that's hilarious.
Who would want to see that? Yeah, Nathan Thompson is one of my least favorite Flerfs because he does promote hate, and he shouts at people in like as the car parks, Walmart car parks. Oh, you're a fucking thief, you NASA employee. You're stealing our money, and flat smacks kids and stuff. He is just a vile human being in general, right? Not just a stupid flat earther.
I won't have him back. I haven't invited him back on my channel, and he's hinted at times about, trying to entice me to bring him on for a conversation or getting me back on his channel for a conversation. I just won't do it.
No.
He's just not worth it.
He's been destroyed by both of us pretty conclusively. The last time I had him on, he was in the chat and I just invited him on, and it was one of the most delightful destructions of Flat Earth that I ever had. Because, see, there's some Flat Earthers that I actually enjoy having conversations with because... yeah, they're a flat earther and they're dumb as fuck, but they're not a horrible person. Like Derek Nelson that we had on the other day, he was alright, a bit arrogant about the Bible and everything, but it was a pleasant conversation, right? But you can't have that with someone like Nathan Thompson because they will just scream and shout like independent variable at you and stuff like that.
And then, Secret G says after being on Ranties, he realized it wasn't the Russians. So
he does know that it's not the Russians.
Sense into him. Yeah.
But the fact that that's where he went. Oh no, I've just given out my password. and now I've been hacked. How surprising. Fucking idiot. Flat Earth Slam says that Nathan Thompson beat me. I mean, that's just a flat out lie. Nathan Thompson has never beaten anybody in a debate. I mean, guys, go back and watch my debate with Nathan Thompson if you don't believe me, because I absolutely fucking destroyed him. Oh, and have no sphere. So where's this demonstration of a pressurized system without a container? Someone's hit the reset button because...
Limnic eruptions.
Yeah.
Limnic eruptions. CO2 sits right next to atmosphere, different pressures. No mixing.
Yeah, have no sphere. Answer me this question, have no sphere. How does an aeroplane take off? Is that not different pressure next to each other?
A little bit.
And what's a storm system, Sean?
Why, that would be a massive pressure differential.
Oh, right. So different pressure systems sitting next to each other without a container. Oh, wonderful. There we go, have no sphere. You can stop being an idiot now.
Sleepy Dan says, every day, or at Team Skeptic, every day young Twinkies and Twinkie Stan are starving. Do your part to end cream hunger. Donate your cream today with your PayPal and YouTube passwords.
Oh, okay.
I know. I see what you did there.
Yeah, everyone, if you just want to send me an email with your YouTube passwords, that would be fantastic. I've had a couple of super chats that I've missed, so I'm just going to cover them quickly. Where are we? Right, read that one. Yeah, NZ Pure. $2 New Zealand dollars from NZ Pure. 33-page thesis. They won't even accept it. Well, apparently he's handed it in, so I'll be interested to see what happens. 5 New Zealand dollars from Sam Davey. When are you going to destroy Nathan Thompson again? I mean, I'll debate him again if he wants to be destroyed that badly. But yeah. 10 Canadian dollars from Flerfs are idiots. Amazing name, thank you. Good evening, fellas. JM Truth deserves the award.
Yeah.
Anytime I hear his incoherent blathering, I die a little inside. Yeah. See, I think JM Truth, what he's going to put in his documentary about me is when I made the mistake about the mass flow meters. And said that it proves Earth's rotation rather than the rotation of the mass flow meter itself. And I admitted that I made the mistake, but I think he's going to eke that out into making me look like an idiot in his documentary. But it's not going to stop him looking like an idiot anyway. $5 from Sparky NJ. FTFE, this is for you to drive and crash that Flerf Road tour going through the UK. Oh, they were in Edinburgh recently, and I could have gone down to see them, but it's getting out and about is not that easy for me. If they come to Dunfermline, maybe I would have. And $5 Australian dollars from Aaron Armstrong. Best thing is Martin fell for the same trick less than 12 months ago. I didn't know that. So he's actually fallen for this twice. My God, that's stupid.
Wow. I am 3 subscribers away from 20K, guys.
Right, I know that most of my subscribers are probably
20.
already subscribed
We're
to
gonna
Twink, but if you aren't, then subscribe to him right now, because 20K, oh my God.
Yeah.
Team, I remember having the conversation with you, and it honestly feels like just a few days ago, when I hit 10K, and you'd hit 10K like a week before, and you were like, welcome to the 4-digit club, and now you're so close to 20K, and honestly...
5-digit club. 5-digit club.
5-digit club. Yeah, sorry, dope. And honestly, your channel's been one of my favorites from the beginning. So, absolutely, congratulations and well done. And you'll hit 50K before you fucking know it, man. Honestly. Have you enjoyed your time on YouTube?
It's a moment, man. Fuck yeah, love every one of these guys, man. I'm having like my little realization moment of like, damn, 20K, hell yeah, that's what's up.
So yeah, if you guys are not
fucking
subscribed
journey.
to Team Skeptic, then please go and do it. Price Puncher has just put Team Skeptic's channel in the chat. Go and give him that last 3 subs and get him to 20K. Well done, dude. Well impressive.
Yeah.
And I've got to say,
it's been a
I'm
journey,
loving
man.
your
It's
videos
been-
lately, seeing your face. I think the change has been really good for you. Now we've got to get Sean to
Well, I
20K.
just appreciate everybody, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little farther away from that.
I'm surprised you
I'm
don't have more
factual-based.
subs, Sean.
That's because I'm a very dry person and I deal more with facts than trying to entertain people. So I can fully understand why you guys are grabbing subs a lot faster than I ever did.
Well, I think Team and I, we put out the regular kind of scripted things, and we've got like a routine that we do. So yours are a bit more sporadic, and like you say, it can be a bit drier when you do your proofs and stuff. But your parody songs you do are absolutely hilarious, and I want you to do loads more of them.
I've got several that I've been kind of halfway working on, but just really haven't followed through and finished them yet.
If one of my mods can please put Sean Hufford's channel in the chat, and everyone go and subscribe to Sean Hufford as well. Let's see, what you're at the moment, Sean? You must be about 3,000 or 4,000, right?
Like 3,500, I think.
Yeah, I reckon we can get you to 5K. Yeah, so definitely subscribe to Sean and to Team Skeptic. But yeah, I just had another super chat. Thank you very much. $50 from Jay Roddenthum. Congrats on 20K. Yeah, thank you. I'm about 1,500 away from 20K. I'll be there as soon as I can. Look, I'm always in the shadow of Team Skeptic, I think.
Well, it's because he's in a dark room, dude.
Yeah. But let's. If you muted yourself, team.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, I did.
He's pulled a Craig.
I just want to say thank you guys, for real, man. Like, appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, you deserve it. You work hard on your channel. I know you do. I see what you go through to edit, and you're one of the people that I think will agonize the most over getting things particularly right. I know in the video you put out the other day, you were so annoyed that there was a slight audio error at the end, and that ate you up inside. And I think that kind of attention to detail and stuff is why people love you so much. But Daniel Pratt. Let's talk about Daniel Pratt.
Oh, he was so nice to grace us with his presence. That was fun. He never did say if you like my parody or not. I did a parody specifically for him.
Kay Williams says, "How am I in Team Shadow? He doesn't cast one." Not when he turns sideways, that's for sure. But yeah, Daniel Pratt came into Team's premiere yesterday and started going on about stuff. But I want to say something about Daniel Pratt. When I was doing a debate recently, I talked about tidal locking. I did get one thing wrong when I said that all of the solar system's moons are tidally locked, where I think it's about 54%, Sean. Is that right?
Something like that.
Right, and the fact is, you can see this if you get a telescope and you look at some of the moons around Saturn and stuff, and even like Mercury is tidally locked to the Sun in a 3-to-1 ratio. But
not tidal locking.
And that, it actually is. It is a form of. I was looking into it. It is a form of tidal locking because it is it's the torque applied to the bulges on Mercury created by the Sun's gravity that has caused that 3-to-1 ratio, which is tidal locking. But it's something that you can observe pretty much in most celestial bodies. But Daniel Pratt, he thinks that Saturn and Jupiter and the Moon can't have tidal lock-in because there's no tides.
Oh my god.
Yeah. You alright there, team?
Yeah. I'm getting back. I'm just overwhelmed by just I don't know.
Did you hit the 20K?
I don't know. Yeah, I did. Thank you.
Well done. Woo!
Thank you.
Massive congratulations.
Here,
dude.
I did it. I crossed 20K on your live stream. That was fucking awesome. Thank you guys, everybody.
No, well done, man, and thank you for
I'm
the
just
awesome
a little bit
content
at a
you put out.
loss for words right now.
I know. That must feel good.
I wish I could talk about the way that you talk about it and say like, man, how like that one little audio error just like threw me for such a loop, and I was just so disappointed in myself when I'd made that error. But you know why I made the error is because I had made a small mistake in it that one of my patrons had caught, and it really wasn't a small mistake. it was something that that I have not done yet. I do my best not to put words into people's mouth. Like I don't take what you say and say, "Oh, you meant this." No, I take what you say for what you said, and I judge you on that. I judge the comment that you just made. And I kind of I had a reach on one of my videos, and in the last video, I made a reach in something I said, and somebody pointed it out and was like, "You don't normally do that, so I wouldn't do that. You kind of get lost in that topic," so I just cut it out. Well, by cutting it out, I forgot to move my faders for my audio out on the outro. I forgot to move the faders over a little bit, and that caused my audio to be off. But you know what? I care so much about the work I put in that it was a big deal to me. I mean, it really was. It was a big deal. And it just to know that there are people that actually see that there's hard work that goes into this. And if I could put out a video every day, if I had a fucking 30-man team to help me out, that'd be great. But I don't. I have me. I have Wildman Fujiyami that helps me out with art when he can. And I mean, he's great. He does a wonderful job.
Yeah, props to Wildman.
It's when it comes to the editing and all that, it's just finding one little thing that works and one doesn't. And I went back and listened last night because I knew I was getting close to 20K. I went back and listened to my very first video, and I sound so stupid. Like, why do you guys like me?
God, I'm the same, man. If I go back and watch, my first video was out like mid-November last year. And if I go back and watch that now, I cringe so hard. Sitting on my sofa in front of my flowery wallpaper, like, oh my God. And my very first debate against Flat Out Hero, where I just screamed and went really angry at him. Like, I can't watch it. And I know that I've got new subs that have been going back and watching through all of my stuff, and I don't know why anyone would have subbed to me at that beginning point. Oh, but
dude, I actually watched my players put to the test video back, and I about shit myself at how much I've changed, how much the change in microphone has made a difference in my voice. It's like, geez.
Yeah. Talking about your voice, Sean, I had a $2 super chat from Sparky NJ, and he wants to hear you say, "I am the voice."
I am the voice.
Ooh, chills. Thank you.
And hey, I do want to give a big shout out. I think it's only appropriate right now to give a big shout out to somebody in the chat, Talseti Alpha. I'll say it forever, man. He reached out. He was one of the very first content creators to reach out to me and start helping me guide my channel to become better than what I was. And it was him that pushed me. And I've always kept our little, our personal conversations private, and my friendship with him, I've never really talked about it, but just knowing that he was such a part of what I have right now. This is really, some of it's his. He owns the responsibility of what I have today, at least a little bit.
Yeah.
5%.
So thank you, Tal. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
95%.
He's the 95%.
95% me, 5%. 5% Tal.
$5 from Bubble Burster
he's
says,
the godfather,
when Martin's channel hits 30K, do a video congratulating him. Unfortunately, Martin's channel is losing subs now. However, he did have 113,000 views today, apparently. So,
hey man, if he makes ad revenue off that, he's going to make money.
Well,
so,
but the thing is, if he's given away his password,
purpose.
then they've also got access to his AdSense account and everything as well. So they're probably taking his monetization, right?
Oh yes, definitely.
I mean, he had 26,000 subscribers. I'm assuming his channel was monetized, and he would have been making, some money off of it. So, again,
plus you need to have two-step verification, guys. Like, if somebody signs into your fucking thing, it's going to notify you by phone. Hey, are you trying to sign in from Indonesia?
Yeah.
No,
right.
You're not.
Right. In the past week or so, I've actually updated the way that I do all my passwords. And if you guys don't know about LastPass, everybody who has any kind of online account should register with LastPass. It's one of the autofill things, but it's like the most secure one you can get. And the thing is, when you use those, you don't have to remember your password. And I literally just mashed the keyboard and made up a bunch, and then saved that as my password in LastPass. So I don't even really know what my password is because it's all done on there, and you're not gonna lose your shit that way. So yeah, if you haven't,
I'm gonna make a prediction now. I'm gonna make a prediction now. At some point, you are going to run into that situation where, and that was the moment he realized he fucked up.
Possibly. $5 from Chad Candris.
I'd like to...
Happy 20K. Yeah, well done, team. Honestly, mate, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I appreciate it. Adrian Clark at Team Skeptic, and I'm really gonna give this this comment a read because this guy Dave Rakia Gayford, he has been harassing us for using the F-bomb, which I don't even understand what a fucking F-bomb is.
What the fuck's that?
It's one of the fucking stupidest, exactly, fucking ignorant ass fucking half-ass English, F-bomb. We don't even have F's in the fucking, what the fuck is an F other than a letter, dipshit. But anyway, Adrian Clark says at Team Skeptic, please at Dave Rakia Gafford. I said Gafford. Gafford is I think it is. Okay, please can at Dave Rakia Gafford get a shout out. Hashtag. He's a. We shouldn't say the F-bomb, guys. Should we say the F-bomb?
Yes,
I mean, what's
we
an
should.
F-bomb, right? Hashtag. He's a fucking idiot. Ding. You're the first person I called an idiot since I had 20,000 subs.
Woo.
Good job, fucking Gafford. You fucking dipshit.
666 from NA. My dude C4 needs a spammer. Can you hook him up, please? C4, just type something and I'll sort you out, dude. And
He needs a spammer?
Yeah, C4's
a spammer.
good people. Good
and
people. Good people.
$5 from RT96. In other words, FTFE's password is not observable and repeatable. FTFE debunked. Yeah, it's not hard to debunk me, apparently. Like, I made... guys, if you haven't seen my D-Marble video, everyone can feel free to call me an idiot right now, because I pulled a Nathan Oakley and forgot to convert meters to kilometers in some of my math. So, yeah, I did that. Because I was looking at a lake that D-Marble is saying, oh, look, it's a perfect mirror, which, as Sean pointed out, isn't a perfect mirror. And I estimated it about 100 meters across at the point he was looking. And then I did the math for, well, 100 meters into 40,075 is 0.25. But then, obviously, it's not. It's 100 meters into 40,075,000. But I didn't do that. So, yeah, I underestimated... You know, it actually enhances my point even more because it's not 0.25% of the circumference. It's 0.000025% of the circumference. So yeah, I made it stupid, but it actually helps me even more. Joshua Hansen,
okay,
$2.
so we started
These
it-
pennies quit being flat because they feared Team Skeptic. Yeah. He is terrifying. Look at that face. What were you going to say, Sean?
I was going to say that, you know, the channel It's Okay to Be Smart has the I did a science shirt. You need a I did a stupid shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
Or I made it stupid.
Talking about shirts, guys, I've just dropped a bit of new merch in my Teespring store. If you use the code FTFE25, you can get 25% off what is already a cheap t-shirt. So, yeah, if you want to go and represent FTFE, just go to my Teespring store and buy one of my shirts. Thank you. I think you need some new merch out, team, for your 20K.
I do. In fact, you know what? We're gonna get a 20K sub club. I'm gonna do a 20K sub a sub live stream on Sunday. We'll talk about our upcoming live streams, I'm sure, before the end of the night. I'd already planned a 20,000 or 20K sub live stream for Sunday, so we'll still do that on Sunday, and we'll hold celebrations off till then. I'm still telling you guys, I'm just a bit overwhelmed right now. Dave Gafford says, F you, LOL, congrats on 20K. Thanks, Dave. You know we're just having a good time, man. To be honest, we don't ever take things I don't take things personal around here. I just have a good time doing what I do and trying to entertain everybody. So when I fuck with the crowd, it's just me having a good time. So glad you could see that we're all just having a good time with it. And thank you, bro. Thank you on the congratulations. I appreciate that.
Well, talking about congratulations, $2 from Mike Bertelson. Congrats on 20K. Meat tubes ain't a thing.
Yes, they are, Mike.
Yeah, they definitely are because you've got them in your emojis now, right?
The only place that MeTube exists is in emojis.
I think you need a Meet You shirt, like, definitely. And $5 from Curtis Reynolds. Now, you didn't pull a Nathan Oakley, you just didn't convert it. Nathan doesn't know how to convert it. Yeah, that's true. I just forgot.
Yeah.
That would be one of my favourite YouTube clips of all time, is listening to Nathan Oakley not get how to convert meters to kilometers. Like, I could literally
Even
that
better
Divided by 0.
Even better than the internal angles of a triangle?
Oh, that one's pretty good as well. Reilly will never live that down.
God,
I just
Anthony
need to get out
Reilly
my,
deserves it. Sean.
I just need
He's
to get
gonna
out my
win, bro.
triangle
We gotta do it.
calculator. Oh, this triangle calculator doesn't do it, so either it's wrong or you're wrong. $5 from TC
I'm telling
Lucas.
you, with all the stupid...
We
Go
need
ahead.
to see a Team Skeptic 20k sub sex dance. Wow.
That one's going to be a little different because he can't go on camera for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it on Sunday. I'll do a 20k sub sex dance for you guys on Sunday, and maybe we'll have maybe I'll find a mankini somewhere to get it all jumped off right.
Sorry, Skeptic. Just thinking of you
I'm giving
flopping
you guys
around.
promises that I'm not about to.
No.
Oh,
$5
it's
from
amazing.
Cheryl Ann. A
It's-
little
it's-
love for Team's tough face being cute as F-bomb. You got a fan there, dude.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Thank
you. I
you
appreciate it.
for harassing me with money
Cheryl,
for
thank you.
Team's face. I love it.
Oh man, I love our community. Our community is
Yeah.
awesome, man. We have some really good subscribers. Thank you guys for being the people you guys are.
One of my first memories being on YouTube was not long after I'd released my first Explain Simple Stuff to Flerfs video about Horizons, and you had just put out a community post asking who was people's favourite debunkers. You're giving people options, a whole bunch, and I think you're about 5k subs at that point. And I was like, why aren't I on that list? But ever since then,
I remember that.
yeah. So, and that still feels like not that long ago, and that's 15,000 subs ago.
I know. I remember posting my my post not too long ago. I was like, it took me 13 months to get from 0 subs to 10,000. And that's the other thing is like my friends don't know that. My real friends, like there's a few of my personal friends that know, but like my Facebook friends and the friends that are just like friends from years ago, they don't know that I do this at all. It's like they're completely. I got a message from somebody today from my fraternity that I haven't seen in 20 years, and he messaged me asking me if that was me. And I was like,
Is that you on YouTube?
Actually, it is. So so I messaged him, but I haven't talked to him forever. So like, there's a lot of some of my friends are starting to notice it, but it was just like it took me 13 months to go from 0 to 10, and then that was I think that was like March. So
Yeah, end of March I think was
about
when I hit 10k.
6 months to go from either 6 or 7 months to go from 10 to 20.
That's good going, man.
Oh God, I can't believe it. Like I remember times when I started my channel. I remember times when my son told me, "If you have 100 subs after the end of the first year, you're doing good."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Well,
Hell
what's
yeah,
it,
that's a goal to
10,000
get.
we're
That's a
in the
goal to
top
set.
10% of all YouTube channels.
No, I don't know. I don't know about that.
That's
Maybe
what someone told me.
you'd have to see.
Yeah.
You'd have to see what the how many YouTube channels are out there so you can know what your ranking is, your Social Blade ranking.
Yeah,
But-
Social Blade's pretty much
but yeah,
useless
man,
now, though.
Well, and then there was
1,000
times like I'll tell you,
CLPs.
I had
1,000 CLPs from
Go
Rampant.
ahead. No,
How
go
you
ahead.
doing, guys? Also, FTFE, what's your take on UFOs? They are unidentified flying objects. I'd love
Yeah,
to
somebody can
think-
throw a frisbee at sunset. And you can't tell what it is. It's technically a UFO.
Yeah. I would love for there to be aliens that have visited Earth, but I just don't think that the technology to travel faster than light in that way, I couldn't say conclusively that they're not alien crafts. It's more likely some kind of secret military craft that they film, but they're unidentified because we don't know what they are. I'd love to think that an alien ship was landed in Roswell and, you know, we got contact with aliens, but, you know, I don't think that that's something that would ever be told to us. It would be too scary for people. What do you guys reckon? Do you think if the government was in contact with aliens that they would ever tell everybody?
I would say that in order to prevent panic from going, because there would be the massive uproar in riots and everything, because just the religious aspect of it would cause mass chaos.
Yeah.
So if, you know, hard if, because again, I agree with you. I don't think there's anything faster than light out there, even by advanced alien civilizations, if they exist. One, they wouldn't come here to just check us out. They would either come here to get us, for, you know, take us out for our resources, you know, make us into their slaves, or just food. You know, there's not going to be any kind of philanthropy going on.
No. I think if there was a species that were advanced enough to do that, we would be like bacteria to them.
Yeah, but okay,
so
at the same time, at the same time, but hold on. At the same time, when we talk about like interplanetary travels and studies, we're always concerned with our impact on the ecosystem there, on the natural ecosystem there, because we don't want to adversely affect the natural ecosystem, let's say on Titan, okay?
Yeah.
So we want to go and we want to drill on Titan. We got to figure out a way to not contaminate that environment. Why would you think we would do anything differently if we went to another world, let's say, and we found what appeared to be a hominid species? Let's just say that not a hominid. We'll just say like appears to be very hominid-like bipedal, 4 limbs, maybe
something that could possibly evolve into a civilization.
Yes, okay, exactly. Why would you think we would immediately just go in and destroy them? Why would we not take their or try to not have such an impact on their society? And why would you not think that aliens would not see us the same way? What about us makes us think that we're more intelligent and more benevolent to the smaller species, but they wouldn't be the same way with us? Because I think benevolence is something you get with evolution. I think you evolve the fighter out of you. You evolve into being a more scientific being.
Okay, but that's putting our own morality and thoughts onto another species. Now, say if a species evolved from an insect into a civilization. Insects, you know, have hive minds and you know, are all about kind of resources and stuff. So say an insect type species went into space, they would just be more concerned with getting resources based on how we see insects behaving on Earth. You know, we don't know what kind of life would evolve and be able to do that. And it's a very hard question because, you know, the universe is so large with so many different possibilities that we just don't know what other life could be. You know, we might not even recognize it as a life form because we just don't know what it could evolve and what could happen. I do think that there is certain things that are easy to evolve, like our form, I think, is something that is more likely to evolve than something a bit crazy because it's very beneficial. You know, we evolved because we were the ones that had the brain power, and our particular body and our you know, opposable thumbs allowed us to do certain things.
We evolved because we're the primate that discovered fire. That's why we evolved. We're the primate that discovered fire that allowed us to focus less attention on eating and surviving and more attention on taking in it, like what I said in the last video, the knowledge, the being able to develop knowledge, to be able to evolve the brain more than needing to evolve the stomach and everything else to help you survive with less intelligence.
I've got to disagree with you slightly there because
fire helped us.
I feel like when I look back at evolution, I think the reason humans evolved the way we are is because there was a period in our history when we were coming out of Africa where there wasn't very many humans. Their resources were scarce, and we had to learn to think ahead. Like there's, they found eggs, you know, fossilized eggs underground, and the thought is that humans evolved the ability to think ahead, and what they would do would be, well, at this point in the future, we're going to need water. So they would get eggs, they would get whatever was in the egg out of it, they would fill that egg with water and bury it somewhere. And it's that having to use your imagination to think ahead that allowed our brains to evolve in a certain way. Yes, I think having fire, so being able to do edit tools and that helped, but I think it was the struggles of nearly being extinct.
Okay, so the way I've always understood this, right, is that there was a very distinct time at which we stopped evolving our digestive system because we have neurons in our stomach, okay? So you get that nervous feeling in your stomach and you're like, why do I feel this way? You know how people say, I got a bad feeling about him in my gut, or I got a bad feeling about this in my gut. Well, that's just because you have neurons in your stomach. We've always had these neurons in our stomach. We've also always had the neurons in our head. So when we developed fire, what it did is it gave us the ability to cook the food, to break the food down to where we had to use less energy in our stomach to get the same benefits that we were getting nutritional, you know?
Yeah.
So because we could evolve less in the stomach and then we could start evolving more in the neurons in our brains began to grow at a rapid pace because this ultimately gave us the best chance of survival, which was to be able to cook our food so we didn't have to focus so much on eating, but also to be able to take the additional energy and use these random mutations in our brain that gave us more cognitive abilities and more intelligence. We were able to apply those to give us a better opportunity to live longer and survive more, to reproduce more. That's the way I've always understood it as far as what our modern day species, where the idea that our cognitive abilities really took off is when we first discovered what the benefits of fire was and how to tame fire.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love
I
time
could be
travel
wrong, but
to
I'm
be
just
a
saying
thing.
that's how I always understood it.
I think if time travel ever became a thing, personally for me, the most interest I would have is going back and seeing how we evolved, how we lived millions of years ago. All right, just a couple of super chats I want to get to. $5 from John Rapp and no message. Thank you very much. But then another $5 from John Rapp. Oops, take this personally. I'm stoked with all you galas. Well done. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate every super chat, honestly. $5 Canadian from Dracapool. I asked Gafford to give a photo of a landmark 300 or more miles from the camera, and he can't do it. I can't begin to believe in the flat then. I don't really know what that's about, but thank you. And then $2 from Joshua Hansen. There's no way Trump could keep from tweeting it. Oh, about aliens, no. I think Trump would go on a tweeting storm. I don't know why Trump's carers let him have a phone, honestly. I just imagine everyone that works in the White House, every time Trump tweets, and like, oh my God, he's on the internet again. Someone stop him. And I'm sure there was another one. Let me just check. $4.99 from Dave Raka Gafford. Put on timeout. Am I too nice? Take my money. I'm assuming the previous super chat was about you, but so thank you for your money. I appreciate that.
No, I think he's just having a good time with everybody like I normally do, and
Cool.
I think some people are timing him out and stuff. So I think he's good people, guys. I think he's just fucking around and trolling us a little bit, but that's fine. A little bit of trolling ain't gonna hurt nobody. Give me 1 second. Oh, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, is time travel possible?
No.
Nothing's preventing it.
Do the
We
laws
haven't
of
figured it out.
do the laws of relativity say that it isn't possible?
No.
The
See,
laws of relativity?
Just relativity
What do
in
you
general.
mean by that?
Well, like Einstein's equations are around relativity.
Well, okay, so what tells you really that time travel is impossible is the second law of thermodynamics. That's what tells you that time travel is impossible, really.
Explain that.
Because you're always moving forward in time with as defined by entropy. So you'll never go backwards in time to a state that you were previous in. And we're talking about macro states, not micro states here.
Yeah.
Macro states will never go backwards in time to a previous state. So if you start out with, hold on, let me go back on camera so I can kind of, I'm putting myself in floating head mode, guys. Give me a second.
So when do we get the Max Ederman edit?
See, I think that going forward in time would be possible, but only because of time dilation. Say if you sent a ship out to the edge of the solar system and back, traveling at quarter the speed of light. For the people on board, only a little amount of time would have passed, but for the people on Earth, a lot longer would have passed.
That's just relative time, though. That's just the time.
But for the people in the ship, they would have traveled forward in time, right?
Yeah, but both observers traveled forward from the same point in time. No person actually traveled backwards. They just experienced different time.
Exactly.
So that's the only thing with that. That there's nothing that violates going back in time for that. Now, what I mean by entropy is, let's say, entropy really is the definition of the direction of time. So if you have a system, right, and you pour hot water and cold water into each system, and you have a barrier between that system, and you pick that barrier up, you could mark that as the beginning of time of that system. So once you pick that barrier up, then you start having a mixing of the two different temperatures of water, and they start obeying the laws of thermodynamics at that point, and entropy. So what you're never going to find is that you're never going to find a time when you go back to having the systems completely separated. To do that would mean that you were going against entropy, which would mean you were going against the flow of time. So you really, that's kind of how you can define time, is by saying that time is entropy. Time is the direction of entropy, or entropy is the direction of time. So as you start a system out, it's always going to move forward in time. It's never going to move backwards in time. Now, there's also fundamental rules about time dilation that say that when you move forward above the speed of light, you will start moving backwards in time, but the problem with that is that you can never move faster than the speed of light.
No. Okay, right. So let's say time is travel. Let's say time travel is possible. Which time travel is it? Is it Back to the Future time travel that changes the timeline, or do you have a branch timeline created because you've gone back and changed something?
Well, okay, so that goes back to so you can actually travel backwards in time through a different mechanism, through virtual particles, through Feynman diagrams. They have particles that come in from the future and interact with particles that are present. They have a force-carrying particle, and then they have two other particles that come off of that. And you have to, the only way you can explain that is to have one particle coming from forward in time backwards to meet another particle moving forward in time forwards. But it doesn't, we aren't virtual particles, so we can't do this. You know what I'm saying? We physically couldn't move our particles backwards in time. It makes no sense to try to move backwards in time. Time is just something that we just say that time exists because we want to explain a rate of change. The rate of entropy. That's why we say time exists. There's no other reason to really define time from a science standpoint, unless you're talking about rate of change.
So our rampant for 1,000 CLPs. I'm going to say that's 1,000 claps. Thank you. Do delayed quantum erasers move info into the past?
But Craig, that was only
that's a great question.
It was just too fast. You couldn't see it, Sean.
No,
you're much more knowledgeable on quantum stuff than me.
Yeah, so when we say move backwards in time, again, we're trying to define something that is not real. We're trying to define time. We're trying to say that there's a time in the past and there's a time in the future when we can think about it classically like that, but it doesn't really make sense to talk about it, in reality. In reality, we're just really, or to explain things. Okay, so in the quantum eraser experiment, what you do is you get this transfer of, you somehow get this quantum information that's conserved over time. Okay, and that means that something's interacting backwards in time with it, or something's acting forwards in time that's predeterministic. So you send it's an interesting experiment. It basically creates a double slit experiment where you register a photon or an electron that's in superposition and that's quantumly entangled with another particle that's going off into the system, right? So when the register here registers the particle, it registers the particle of the state that it'll be in when it reaches its final destination at one of 4 detectors, let's say. So these they talk back and forth somehow or another. We just don't understand it yet. It's not to say that it goes backwards in time or that forward time is predeterministic. It's just the way we understand it. We could be eliminating the possibility of all possibilities that are, that would violate what the reading is at the first plate, and still be left with an infinite number of possibilities that the future could still be that don't violate what we receive at the first plate. So it's not that it goes backwards in time, it's just that we don't understand how it works with each other. Like I said, time is what we define time. Time is it means nothing to quantum entanglement, and like Einstein said, the spooky action at a distance, the
perceived passing of information faster than the speed of light.
Yeah. Now here's the kicker. You would think, okay, well, I'm just going to set up this experiment. I'm going to entangle these 2 particles, and I'm going to wait for 4 weeks, right? I'm going to wait for 4 weeks, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the lotto numbers in 4 weeks from now, and I'm going to quantumly select these things to ultimately register the lotto numbers back when I first ran the experiment. So then really all I have to do is have the intention of buying the lotto tickets. The experiment will go forward. It'll send the information back in time. I'll get the information back in time once I've already made the decision to do the experiment. Now that I know the lotto numbers, I'm going to send that information quantumly back to myself in time. But that doesn't work either, because see, you have to compare your results. So you won't know that the results are the same until you're finished with the experiment, and you can compare those 2 results and say, oh, look, every time it's the same every time. This counter hit with this one correlates with that one correlates with this one. You have to have the whole data set first. You can't have the whole data set without letting the experiment run. So even if the quantum information is shared backwards in time, we as 4-dimensional beings doesn't work for us. Just doesn't make sense. Okay. We would never be able to use that information usefully.
People in chat making a good point that flat earthers want to take us back in time. Yes, they're trying to take us back to the Dark Ages, that's for sure. Where's Wally? Why the hell are you not a moderator on my channel?
Scuzzlebutt says that's not how entanglement works. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to give a really busted ass explanation of the quantum eraser experiment, where the quantum information is shared between 2 particles that are entangled. Yeah. Yes, I didn't go into the whole process of how they became entangled, but that's a whole different process that we'll talk about another time.
Someone's just come into the chat. Where's Wally?
Lots of ways to do that.
Hey, FTFE, I came here for Flat Earth debunks, and I'm getting quantum physics. Nice. Yeah, always a mix-up on this channel. But talking about Where's Wally, guys, that is another channel that I absolutely love and does a much better job than I have ever done at debunking Flat Earthers. So if you guys aren't subscribed to Where's Wally, he conclusively proved that the Himawari is a real thing. So click on his channel and go and subscribe to Where's Wally if you're not, because he's actually amazing. And I just did wrench you, buddy. So, team, if you could travel back in time, say you could just do it once, where would you go?
Yeah. Great question. I would go... Can I come back?
Yeah. Right, here's how it works.
If I can come back, I want to go back and talk to Einstein.
Really?
Einstein. I'd go talk to Einstein.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What about you, Sean?
Yeah.
You've got 12 hours. You go back in time for 12 hours and then come back.
Better.
Where would you go?
For 12 hours, free time travel. I just think I'd actually go for Einstein, because that's like what everybody would want to do. I think I would actually want to go and smack Newton around for the Mercury thing.
Okay. See, I think I would want...
Hey, I want to address...
Sorry, go on.
Scuzzlebutt said, straight up, 150% respect. Thanks for acknowledging my question. And you were 100% right. I wasn't trying to go into how they got entangled and everything, but I like when people call me out, because it makes me better at what I do. So thank you,
absolutely.
sir. I appreciate you.
If I could go back just once and I had 12 hours...
And I'll talk about that in a second. But go ahead.
I think I'd have to go back, like I said before, to a point very early on in human evolution to kind of see actually how we were back then. It interests me a lot to see how we started to separate ourselves from the other primates. So I think I would go back to probably where we started being Homo erectus and just observe what we were like back then. I'd be very interested in that.
But Craig, I don't think you'd be able to survive without the internet.
Very true.
For 12 hours.
No, that's very true. Yeah. I'd love to go forward in time, though. What about you, chat? Where would you like to go? If you could just go back in time once for 12 hours and then you come back, where would you all go? It's nice to see what people think about that. Sleepy Dan says, I wouldn't go back in time. You'd risk going back in time but not moving, so the Earth would be in a completely different position and you'd be in space. Yeah, that would suck.
You know, you know what? I bring that up all the time when people talk about ghosts. And I'm like, ghosts, really? So they have no physical connection to gravity, right? Are they trapped in our electromagnetic field? Because if they have no gravitational attraction, then the Earth should just go out from underneath them. They should be spending the rest of their ghostly lives chasing the Earth through the universe.
Yeah. Because as flat earthers point out all the time, there's all these different movements, Earth around the sun around the galaxy around the Great Attractor and everything. So, yeah, we would not be in the same place in space if we went back in time.
I like Kevin, is it? I go back and get an autographed copy of the Bible. Me too.
Just before the $900 million jackpot, yeah. I think a lot of people would choose to go back and win the lottery. That's an obvious one. Shillick666 says,
okay,
I'd go back and cut Trump's dad's nuts off.
I'm assuming that you can't do that.
Oh, JBro MCMXCI, who is not a fan of mine. I'd go back to when you were conceived and show your parents a picture of you. Yes, well, at least my parents weren't related, JBro. Obviously, they were related. They were husband and wife.
Alto Eager.
Alto
Eager at Team Skeptic. And why do ghosts go through walls but not floors? Good point.
Good point.
Good point.
I mean, are they asking this because you look like a ghost?
Consistent through this? No, I don't look like a ghost, you dickweed. But okay, so a more proper question, I would say, would be to ask, what do you think is more real, aliens or ghosts? Aliens on Earth or ghosts? Or ghosts. One of those two.
Right. So when people talk about ghosts, I try and think about what a scientific explanation for it could be. And there are things that can make you think that there's ghosts, you can hallucinogens and things like that. There's, videotapes can pick up electromagnetic disturbances that can make it look like there's ghosts. But for ghosts actually being, a disembodied entity that used to be a person, that's too far into the supernatural for me to actually think it's a possible thing. But at the same time, we are energy, right? And, maybe the energy has to go somewhere and do something. Maybe when someone sees a ghost, it's some kind of memory of your electromagnetic signal or something. I think aliens existing in the universe is a definite thing that is, but being on Earth, I think it's more likely that ghosts are a thing on Earth, but I don't think that ghosts are what people think they are. Does that make sense?
Wow.
Was the wow because of what you said?
Subscribed.
I'm not saying I think ghosts are a real thing in the sense that people think ghosts are, like Ghostbusters, flying around. Ooh, I think there's other explanations for what ghosts are that could be scientific.
Well, okay, that's what I get. Okay, so that's what I guess I should say. Do you think there are supernatural beings on Earth more than you think there's aliens on Earth?
No, not in the sense of a supernatural being. No. I think in that case it would be more likely that there are aliens that have somehow come to Earth, because I don't think that there is.
Well, Kristen Frost Laser Beams agrees with you. Let's see. Aliens in space? Yes. Aliens on Earth? No. James Davis doesn't agree with me. Now, I just want. I could give a shit less whether there turned out to be ghosts or not, right?
Yeah.
But I want to find aliens. That's something
Yeah, of
I
course.
actively want.
I mean, we're science nerds. We would all love to see
If they
an
shit
alien.
on us, they shit on us. Oh, well.
All right. Here's a question
And,
for you, team. So
okay.
you're out one evening and your car stops working. All of a sudden, you get out to see what's going on, and a spaceship lands next to you, and an alien gets out. What do you say?
I don't say anything. I stand there and I just observe. I
I'd
don't
steal
say
the ship.
anything at all.
I'll just push alien out of the way. And
No,
take the
hey.
ship.
Now hold on. We're talking about a little alien. Yeah, I kick his ass, take his ship. But if we're talking about like a 6'10", skinny, big head, no, I'm going to observe him and try to see what I can learn. Because I think that I don't think an alien would come here just to destroy us. I think if a civilization evolved more towards war than it did towards science, I believe that the civilization will kill itself off. I think it's an inevitable conclusion. It'll just happen. And then you'll have one civilization left, and then a portion of that will break off, and it'll be killed off by the rest. And then you'll have a small portion, and it'll be killed off, and it'll just have a runaway effect until everybody that matters in the civilization is gone. I think science is really the only way, because you're inevitably going to come across an extinction level event on whatever. You're going to have to live on a planet, number one. Like to be intelligent, you're going to have somewhere to have a basis, right? You're going to have extinction level events that are going to happen on your planet. So you must be able to get ahead of the extinction level event before the extinction level event catches up to you. So if you're a warring civilization, I don't think you'll get ahead of the civilization extinction event. But if you're a science-based civilization, I believe you'll develop technology to put yourself ahead of the event. But then at the same time, I think if you're a science-based civilization, you won't be a war-based. You'll come here for learning and studying. So
Yeah.
I do think that I could be wrong. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but it is what I think. My logic follows that.
I just want to clarify to anyone in the chat, I don't believe in ghosts, but I try and look for a scientific explanation for what ghosts could possibly be. Okay? $9.99 US from Stonebutt. C and Arsenal dropped a video on recoil physics a day ago, an awesome demonstration of F equals ma, an accidental debunk of flat earth physics, by having a fat man get slapped around by a Shao-Shat machine gun. Awesome. Yeah, that sounds fun.
What's the name of the channel? Hold on,
C and Arsenal. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Thanks for that. Yeah, so Sean, what about you? What's more likely, ghosts or aliens on Earth?
Oh, shit. Well, we have nothing even close to meeting standards of evidence on either one, so I follow evidence.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm taking the easy answer here.
Yeah, okay, but that's not the question. The question is which is more likely.
Yeah.
Well, again, there's zero evidence for either, so there's a 0% chance for either in my eyes.
You could be a politician, Sean.
All right, Sean Hufford, unsubscribe. Great.
Hey, cheap answer, but it is the most factually accurate.
I can't get behind no channel that doesn't have its own backbone. So if you can't pick aliens, I'm done.
John Rapp,
aliens or
$5
ghosts.
Australian dollars.
Not to be influencing your decision.
John Rapp, $5 Australian dollars. I'd go back in time and kick my arse in high school. Yeah, I think I'd hate myself as a teenager as well.
No, but just think, we get to deal with you as an adult.
If we could go back. Oh man, if I had the chance to go back and change some things, yeah, we'd definitely be changing things. But I'm talking about, let's say, that was the time travel question, right? Was that not a time travel question?
Yeah, that was the time travel.
Yeah,
question.
okay. when I think of time travel, I think that I could go back and visit a point on our timeline without influencing anything moving forward. A point where I had already been, I will always be moving in a loop, going back to that time and jumping back and moving forward and jumping back, so that I could talk to Einstein without disrupting the timeline. Because I'm telling you, I'd go talk to him.
Oh, yeah.
He had some theories that he just gave up on he wasn't wrong. He just stopped where he was at because he was like, I'm right enough. And now we're like, okay, what else could he have done? What else could he have been thinking about?
See, I honestly think that
could we
he
take
thought on
this
another
theory?
level. You know, I think that he just, you know, he saw things that people didn't in a way that people couldn't.
He's just very, very good at analyzing crap.
Right. Question for you, Sean,
Yes.
from Kristen Frost. What is more likely, ghosts or intellectuals who are flat earthers?
Ghosts.
Oh,
Right answer.
good question. Good question. Good question. But yeah, I would love to see aliens, man. I do think that
course.
eventually one day, if our civilization lasts long enough, coming across an alien.
Diplomatic
Huh?
there's no evidence for either.
Yeah, there isn't any evidence for any
But
intellectual flat earthers.
with zero evidence for ghosts, zero evidence for aliens on Earth, and I'm talking about zero here, okay? There's still less evidence for an intellectual flat earther.
No, we actually have positive evidence that they're not intellectual. So, again, ghosts.
Okay, interesting question from Armakar. Would you agree that Newton was more influential on physics than Einstein? I think...
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think Einstein wouldn't have had a lot of his ideas if he didn't have Newton's foundations to work on.
Well, Einstein flat out said that.
That
Yeah.
Yes, he said that. But here's the thing. What Einstein's contributions to physics are going to be contributions that the average human being will probably never, ever have to deal with, right? I mean, you're not going to deal with the calculations of special relativity and general relativity and how they influence your GPS clocks, right? I mean, we're not going to deal with that. But somebody out there has to deal with it. So his discoveries will have a huge influence on our technology, but Newton's discoveries, aside from just calculus, I mean, calculus alone is that if we're talking about just physics, his have more of a application of like an applied science in what the average human being would do. Calculating whether you could pick something up, calculating how much force something has to move it, or if you apply so much force, how far will it move? Those do play more of a role, like what's it called when bridges are built? How much weight they can take, load bearing walls and load bearing engineering and stuff like that. That concerns more with Newton than it will ever bother with Einstein. But when you're talking about particle physics and you're talking about quantum mechanics, you can't limit yourself to Newton because you'll never get past basic frames of reference.
Yeah. I mean,
there's not much quantum field theory.
I mean, you need to go back to the fact that when Newton was talking about gravity, Newton never had a theory of gravity. He never tried to explain what gravity was. He simply described an effect that we saw, right?
Yeah.
So,
he tried
yeah.
Whereas as Einstein tried to give an explanation as to why Newton saw those things and gave that, the equations behind what his law is. But, then Einstein realized that it only works in a local system and there was a lot more to what it was. Newton, in fact, tried to distance himself from what his equations implied. Because, as George Musser said, Newton's equations worked as if by magic. The Earth reached out instantaneously as if by magic and held onto the moon. But then Einstein explained that isn't the case, that gravity is limited to the speed of light and it's an effect of, it's what we see because of the warping of space-time, that gravity is the result of that. Einstein, I don't think even understood what gravity was. I think it was just more of an explanation than Newton ever gave. Am I right there?
And Andrew Stoll, Andrew Stoll, I think you were right. I didn't catch the very last part when you said, I think you said that Einstein was just more right?
Yeah, it's more accurate
Yes.
than what Newton did.
It's going to come out. Okay, so this, I guess, is a good way to transition a project I'm working on that I'm going to be involving a lot of people from the community in. We originally talked about me doing this video explaining actual refraction, like why it's okay to say that light slows down in a medium, even though you're wrong. It's just like it's okay for Newton to say gravity exists, even though he was wrong. There's two ways of looking at physics. There's always two ways you have to look at it, and only really two ways. One is classical. Classical is Newton, let's see, Snell's law. Most of the laws in classical mechanics, those are all classical laws, but they're not. They describe the predictions you can make under ideal circumstances, okay? So you have a specific mass, you have a specific distance they're apart, and you can derive certain specific numbers from that, you know? Like if you have the variables, you can derive forces and whatnot. Where quantum mechanics talks this other thing, but it's much harder to understand, but it's actually more correct. You know, like you can't use classical mechanics to explain certain observations we have. You have to have quantum mechanics. You have to have a deeper understanding of what's actually going on, even if it's counterintuitive or even if it's harder to understand. But it doesn't negate the ability to use the generalizations that Newton had and the generalizations that Snell has and the generalizations that different people have regarding chemistry and gases and whatnot. They're just ideal laws. They work under very defined circumstances, but we hardly ever see these defined circumstances in reality.
Okay.
So.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Say Snell's law again.
Snell's law.
Okay, because you keep saying it's snail.
It does sound like you say snail, but
Snell?
Snell.
Snail's law?
Yeah.
Snail's law.
I mean, I can't complain. The amount of time people tell me off because I say Earth. But
Earth.
No, your big fuck up is when you're like Eratosthenes. Say Eratosthenes for me.
Eratosthenes. Is that better?
Oh, don't change it now. Don't change it now to sound right.
So, a question from Raven Zero for $5 US. Is there a possibility of ancient humanity boosted by aliens in science? Example, Maya temples and Egypt pyramids? I don't think so, no.
No. I think it's just human ingenuity.
Yeah, I think all ancient alien things have been debunked pretty conclusively. There is a lot of points where it does seem like humanity had a massive advancement. But we don't know what was going on at those times, really. So
let me give you guys an example of this, okay? So let's say the wheel, all right? Think of the wheel. One civilization discovered the wheel first, but let's say that civilization never discovered the wheel. Would we have ever discovered the wheel? Yeah, we would have.
Eventually.
Because ultimately we would have tried so many different ways to find that the easiest way to get something to roll, to make something easier to do the work, would be to make it in the shape of a wheel. Same thing goes with pyramids. Same thing goes with a lot of things. It doesn't take a lot to look around and go, oh, that's a really stable structure. Like, think of the pyramids in Giza. What would it take for something to blow that thing over? And why? Now, is it so ridiculous to think that humans a few thousand years ago were also thinking these same concepts? Like, this seems like a pretty stable way of building this. Now, the precision they had is something to be marveled at. I'll give them that. But is it something that I believe humans were just completely incapable of doing? I don't think so. I think humans are a lot smarter than we give ourselves credit for. We consider ourselves dumb now because we seem to be following this trend of looking up information on the internet instead of getting out and doing the work ourselves. Stonemasons didn't read and watch YouTube videos on how to properly carve stones for pyramids. they learn from people who properly carve stones, who learned from people who properly carve stones, and so forth and so forth. So it was easier for them to be an expert in something that required, manual labor. We don't have those experts anymore because we have machine tools. So, and they can be even more precise.
So $5 from Stringer News 1. Thanks, bud. Team butchered Snell and FTFE butchered Column. Yeah, do I say that wrong? Column's law? How do you say it? Correct me, please.
Column.
That's what I'm saying, isn't
Column's
it?
law?
Column's law.
No, you're saying column. Like Roman columns.
That's what I said.
It's column. See...
And an interesting question from
column.
Armaclar for £2. Is general relativity proven? Hawkins said you can't prove a theory. Right, so I know in the past I've probably said things are proven, but science doesn't prove things. I think it's an overused word, proof. And I've used it in the wrong context in times. I'll absolutely admit that. Science gives you evidence of something. So is general relativity proven? No, but there is experimental evidence to say that it is the correct theory at the moment. It's the
it's been confirmed at up to 4 decimal places.
Yeah.
So we know that it's good up to 4 decimal places with its predictions so far that we've been able to experimentally predict, and that was through, I bring these up a lot, the Galilean satellites over that were put in an elliptical orbit instead of a circular orbit, and they're useless satellites, but they found a use for them because of their elliptical pathway, their elliptical orbit around the Earth. At one point, it brings it in significantly closer to Earth, which is a significantly higher gravitational field than it is when it gets further away in its orbit. So during those 2 times, general relativity says time will dilate different. So the internal atomic clocks, which are super, super accurate, I believe they're cesium clocks, but they're super, super accurate, and they tick at different rates. And they can measure this different rate of ticking, and then they can apply the laws of the equations that govern general relativity, and they can say, well, shit, our clocks are ticking exactly as fast as general relativity says, and this is confirmed at up to 4 digits on the atomic clock.
Yeah. So yes, Armaclar. Yeah, in the past I've probably blurted out, well, that's been proven. I'm wrong when I say that because, like I said, science isn't in the business of proving anything. Science gives you the best explanation that we currently have.
Right.
So
because
I think
we
a good way
get
to
a better
say it,
explanation tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think a good way to say it is that every attempt to disprove general relativity has failed.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But again, that doesn't necessarily prove general relativity.
Stringer News says time dilation ? Did I say something wrong when I was talking?
I don't think
I thought
so.
I was right. I thought, I know I'm right, but I thought I don't know if I maybe said something wrong there.
Well, it goes back to one of the only things that Anthony Reilly has ever said right in that, and that is down is the direction where time goes more slowly.
Yeah, that's what I was like, wow, you actually kind of got that one right.
Yeah, because down is towards the gravitational
But that just
pull.
goes to show you, right, so that just goes to show you that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Because if he admits that and he just says that, then what he's saying is that general relativity is real and that gravity is a force that manifests itself inside of our non-inertial reference frame.
Dark Knight apologetics. I'm going to die at your wrong pronunciation of words. That I pronounce things wrong all the time. My accent gets in the way, or I've just never heard it said before. I'm always happy to be corrected. And I think that is what separates people like me and Team from Flat Earthers, is that we are more than happy to be corrected if we're wrong. Do you want to read out that super chat?
I think it's because let's see. Relativity was proven with a particle accelerator. 2 particles with a fixed lifespan were generated. The one accelerated existed longer. Yeah, I actually know this. This comes from Fermilab. Fermilab has the ability to make pions. Yeah, Fermilab has the ability to make pions, okay? And these pions have a calculated life or half-life before they decay. So, a calculated time before they decay. So what they know, and there's a few other things. There's muons too, but muons are something we've observed coming in and hitting the ground when they should have never made it to the ground. But we've actually generated pions, and we send these pions at high speeds. Now here's the thing: we can generate a pion at a low velocity, and it decays at a certain rate. But we speed the pion up, and the rate that it decays at is calculated. It's absolutely spot on to what we calculate it to be. So then we speed the pion up, and we send the pion from Fermilab to, I believe, I can't remember if it goes to Indiana or I think Fermilab's in Boston. But anyway, it goes across the United States to this other lab, and the other lab has to catch the pion, right? So the pion decays, but it's created at such a fast velocity that the decay rate of the pion ends up being extended because it's experiencing time slower. To the pion, it still only lives for the amount of time, the amount of decay that it's mathematically calculated for. But to the outside observer who's stationary to the moving pion, that pion lives for a longer amount of time. And the reason is because we each experience time differently.
Yeah. Factard says, FTFE, how do you pronounce FTFE? It's FTFE. I am FTFE. Team changed my name to FTFE. But Michael Smith Jr. says, FTFE, so if science doesn't prove things, then what is the point of science? If what you're saying is true, then science is just guesswork.
As you roll things out more and more, you get a more accurate picture of what's actually going on.
Yeah. I think I said that science gives us the best current explanation that we have, based on evidence. Right, so how would I define science? Science is the explanation of the natural world through experimentation. I think that's how I define what science is. And we can never have a complete knowledge of everything because we're always learning more. And I think that's why science uses things like scientific theory in place of fact as a humble acknowledgement that our knowledge will never be complete and we can always learn more. But yeah, science most definitely has a point because it is how we learn, it's how we advance, and it's how our knowledge advances.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And then there's a couple other good questions. Tesla Ranger says, what if time slows due to something other than mass? And absolutely, time does slow due to other things other than mass. It slows down due to energy. But then again, energy and mass are the same thing. There's a relationship between the two. And it slows down due to increased velocities. So, I mean, you have a lot of different reasons that time slows down. Not a lot. You have a few different reasons you can say that time slows down relative from one person to the next. Keep in mind, though, that if you're moving at 99.99% of the speed of light and you look at your clock, 1 second still takes 1 second. Yeah. Because that's your clock. The clock's moving at 99.9% of the speed of light with you.
I think it's about time that we started to shut down now. We've been going for 2 hours. But before we go, I want to say to Flat Earth Data, I'm sorry I only just saw your email. But absolutely, I will have you on the channel another time for a debate because we've only met once before and it wasn't very good. And I would like to go over some things that we talked about. But before we go, team, do you want to tell people about the streams that are coming up for the week?
Yeah, so, okay, so you're going to have to tell them who's going to be on Friday because I don't know what Flat Earther is going to be there on Friday.
On Friday, I'm going to be debating on Team's channel against a guy called, where has he gone? Called Pesky, who is kind of a big deal on the 24/7 Flat Earth server. He seems like a nice guy, and he says he actually has evidence of a Flat Earth, which will be a first. So, yeah, I'm going to be on Team's channel debating him on Friday. And then Saturday, on my channel, I'm having my final showdown with Flat Earth Jesus. Dun dun dun.
Yes.
So that should be fun.
I'll be there for that, moderating that. I'll be there for that, moderating that with hopefully
you and
Steve McRae and The Voice.
Yes.
And Sean, now that we have you on here, at least we're informing you of what our schedule is going to be like over the next couple of days. So Friday night, we'll have you on if you want to come on for Fight the Flat Earth debate. You can co-moderate that with me, and then we'll do. Saturday, we're coming here. We're going to be bringing on Steve, And if I need to step down so that Sean can come on, I don't have a problem doing that. I don't mind coming on too, but just whatever. I want to make sure that Sean gets spots too.
Yeah.
And then Sunday we're just going to be doing my show, the Normal Skeptic Show, doing the 20,000 subs celebration.
Well done, mate.
Like I
Honestly,
said, guys, I'm so fucking
I'm
happy
over the
right
moon
now,
for you.
guys. Like I'm trying my hardest to to withhold my emotions and get past this. But it was amazing. Like you guys, I couldn't have done it without the support of this community. I couldn't have done it without the support of everybody who's been a Patreon and who's been a channel member. And I've gone from owning my own business to kind of like fizzling away from that so that I could do this full time. And it was a huge leap of faith, to be honest with you. I just believed in myself, and I thought, hey,
Dude,
I
you're
can
awesome.
fucking do this.
Yeah.
I can fucking do this. I can fucking have a good time with these guys, and we can have. It's all about having fun, man. And I'm going to continue to have fun, and that's just my promise.
Yeah. And I'll keep watching your stuff because you're amazing, and I wish I was as good as you. So thank you for being an inspiration for me as well. Like honestly. On Saturday, I'm also going to have out my next episode of Stupid Humans, which is a collaboration with the Creaky Blinder, another channel. If you guys are not subscribed to the Creaky Blinder, then you're missing out because he is absolutely hilarious. And we are covering idiots that think volcanoes are fake, so that's going to be fun. And then also on Monday, I've got another debate with, another final showdown, this time with Hip Hop Hippie. So that should be fun. But Flat Earth Data, if you're still in the chat, we will get you on. I definitely want to debate with you. I'll let you even choose the particular topic if you want. I know last time that we talked about aircraft and why you think they proved the flat Earth. I think I'm a lot more knowledgeable on that now than I was back then. So I'd definitely like to have that conversation again. But guys, thank you very much for joining us. Galby 3000, £2. The odds of Flerf evidence already debunked? Evens. Yeah, no flat earther has ever given me any positive evidence for flat Earth. In fact, the last time I asked a flat earther for positive evidence, his answer was level. Try thinking, you penis. Right, but
I want to go ahead and address one person asked me when part 2 of my next video will be coming out. I should have that out by Monday. I'm pretty close to finishing writing it. Of course, I had to go back and rewrite a little bit of it because I chose to cut off the other videos short. Now I just want to kind of rewrite the first part because I just want to. But yeah, I'll have that out for you guys ASAP. That video, I love doing that video. I thought it was a great video. And the flat Earth part, if y'all thought the evolution part was stupid, the flat Earth part is, oh God.
Dude, I've got to cover
I
that
told
guy.
you.
I've not seen him
in
before.
The video. So in the video, I told everybody, I said, you know what? I'm making a prediction. When I write my videos, I really write them in the moment. I don't go back and say, ooh, I could have said this or I could have said that. So sometimes you'll hear me say that I'm going to do something that I don't end up doing because I do it all in the moment. So I put in there, I said, I think this video is going to break my idiot record. And then I made the decision to break it up into 2 so it wasn't a 45-minute long video. And the first half is only 17 minutes, and people are like, what do you mean it's going to break your record? Do you not remember your Daniel Pratt? Do you not remember JM Truth? And I'm like, have patience.
Hold your horses.
There's a part
Hold your
2.
horses.
Have patience.
Oh my God.
Because I'm being a little bit more descriptive in that video. I didn't just say, oh, you're a fucking idiot. I actually talked about, transitional forms in the fossil record a little bit. I talked about the ongoing evolution of mud skippers. Just a couple of different things. It was a learning process for me, and I took my time with it. I enjoyed doing it, and I can't wait to do the flat Earth part. So a couple of days, guys. We'll definitely have that next half of that video for you guys.
Another super chat from Chorus Husky, $2, no message. Thank you. It really does. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Right, before we go, Sean, anything to say?
Not really. I mean, just doing the thing.
Have you got anything planned on your channel at the moment, or are you just doing it as you feel like it?
Just kind of winging it at the moment. There's nothing really new in the flat Earth that really catch my eye.
No, there's never anything new in the flat Earth. I've been doing this for 9 months, and I've debunked the same arguments over and over and over.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on, Sean. It's always a pleasure to have you on my channel because you raise the quality with your voice every time.
Well, I try.
Team, anything final to say?
Yeah, I would like to say that during the live stream, I got 29 new subscribers, and
Woo!
most of you guys are out there in the live chat. And like I said, thank you guys, man. It's only the beginning. 30,000 is next, 40,000, 50,000, then 100,000. All right, hey, here, you know what? Y'all love Simon Dan out there. I know you do. So me and Simon Dan have these little conversations behind closed doors or whatnot on Twitter, and we were talking about me coming up on 20K and him coming up on 200K, and I was like, if you could just, if we could just get me to 100K faster, because he was like, he called me 10% or team 10%. Okay, what a dick, right? Simon Dan, who acts like he's fucking nice to everybody, called me fucking team 10% because I have 20,000 subscribers and he has 200,000. We started roughly the same time. So I was like, at first I was going to be angry and yell at him and expose him for not having legs or nipples, but I decided to use logic and say, the thing is, though, Mr. Dan, is that if you can get me to 100,000, that's going to get you to 1 million so much faster.
Yeah.
So he's in agreement. Yeah, we're going to try to get me to 100,000, so that equates to him to 1 million. So do your part in helping Simon Dan get to 1 million subs by subscribing to Team Skeptic. Thank you. Way to close it. I'm out.
I just want to say thank you to everybody. I'm coming up on 20K. I'm probably about 1,500 off.
Fast.
So yeah.
Fast.
And I'm blown away that I've managed to get this far. Like your son said, if we had 100 subs in the first year, then we'd done well. So to get to this point is I'm honestly humbled by the support that I get from you guys. And thank you for everything. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you to my patrons for supporting me and allowing me to do this. What I actually, I've never had a job that I love doing this much. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everybody who supports me, everyone who watches my videos, even all you people that are my haters, you're still watching my videos, and I thank you as well. But that is going to be all for us tonight. Thank you everybody for watching. Flat Earth Data, sorry I did not see your email in time. We will definitely get you on for a chat, because that will be a dumpster fire for the ages. But for now, remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat Earth. Fight the flat. Fight the flat. Fight the flat. Fight the flat. Fight the flat.